Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrooter.com with your morning of Z's, your sip of coffee. Lots going on in the world today. The most exciting thing, though, is Clif High's new report is out. It's an ALTA report, which is different than the cryptocurrencies. This is about the world in general, about what's happening to our planet, about what's happening in the population of each little area that he covers. There's a USA pop, there's a Spanish pop, Spain pop, I think it's called, Italy pop, talking about what's going on with the populations and the insanity and craziness that's happening and will happen in the near future. Also talks about Antarctica, really cool, odd, weird stuff going on down there. And the biggest thing about this is that we have moved into this part of this process where the Earth is changing. And it's going to be very scary. It's going to cause a lot of diaspora, which is a word I learned from Clif. It means people moving around because they're displaced from their home. Clearly, we've seen it in Houston. We're about to see it throughout the Caribbean islands, throughout probably Florida and the East Coast, and it's a very scary time for humanity, but it is all part of this process, and there's fires all over the West. Right now, I have not been affected. There's nothing really around the Oakland area. Although, according to Cliff's data, we're in for an earthquake. You lump that on top of the earthquake and the fires and the hurricane, and you're looking at quite the mess. And it's coming at the exact worst time for the economy, but if you think about it, it's something they can blame on why the system fell apart, why we have to bail out everything. It could be the banksters. We all know that they can steer these storms, and they're being steered right towards the worst places possible. So yeah, I don't know if they're man-made storms, but I do know we've had the technology to steer storms for about 80 years. So obviously the technology has improved, and they're steering it right towards Florida at the moment, probably go right up the eastern seaboard. So if you live in that area, beware, be careful, stay away from very dangerous areas, move inland if you can. Yeah, it's not good. This was also part, if you read my World in 2017 report, the Economist, the annual Economist magazine, which should be, a new one should be coming out, the World in 2018. In that report, I talk about the Earth changes and their plans, because it's right there on the cover. It's interesting because my analysis of that cover, I think, it was spread out over the entire year, but I think it's all going to be coming down to these last few months in 2017. I think Trump will pull the plug on the swamp and drain the swamp this year. So if all that happens, we are looking towards mass chaos, and then a happy ending down there somewhere down the line was the end of that. If you're interested in that report, go to roadtoruta.com and go to the general store, and I sell all my books there and the World in 2017 report, which I think it will all be packed into the last 3 months. And it does have, right on the cover of the Economist magazine, there's stuff alluding to a change in the monetary system and these massive earth changes that are coming upon us. I think the earthquakes are still looming before the end of the year. So if you're in an earthquake area or not an earthquake area, be prepared. Basically, that's the answer, is be prepared. Be prepared to ride things out for a few months. If you don't have food, water, shelter, protection, get to know your neighbors, because you're going to need your friends and family and neighbors to get through this. So good luck out there to all of us. All right, let's go right to Zero Hedge. Hurricane Irma, devastating. Hurricane Irma flattens most solid buildings on Caribbean island. I've got a friend in Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, and he's right in line. And I said, get high. His house is a couple miles off the shore, but these things are brutal. So just make sure you're in the safest place possible, and hunker down there for a couple days. It's that type of thing. We've been preparing for this on the monetary system. Well, we're going to need that stuff now. So good luck to my friend there, Marco. Good luck, and your family. Make sure you guys are safe as you can be, because it will go through and it will pass, and then you can rebuild anything that needs to be rebuilt. Anyway, yeah, and it's not just hurricanes. Fires all over. Slam the South. Shocking images show western U.S. literally on fire. If you go to that image, let's go there now. Look at all the fires in the U.S. right now. That's just insane. All of Washington and Oregon and Northern California. I'm right in here. I'm right in that place. It's just it's inching towards me. And then LA obviously is always on fire this time of year, but just crazy amount of stuff going on there. Everybody needs to be ready to get your bug out bag ready for so many different things, especially if the earthquakes start kicking in. So careful. U.S. services economy rebounds in August, but Harvey impact a big unknown. The services economy is waiters and bartenders. When people lose their jobs, they pick up jobs as waiters and bartenders and Uber drivers. That's what happens. So this is not good. The rebound in the waiter industry means a destruction of the manufacturing industry. So hang in there, people. We'll get through this, hopefully. It's going to be bumpy. It's going to be ugly. We've been preparing for it. If you've been on the road to Ruta, we've been preparing for this for a long time. Make sure you've got enough dried food to last a few months, because no matter where you are, you're going to need it. There's all kinds of problems with crop production these days, and any hiccup in the just-in-time delivery system will cut it all off. Start a garden now if you haven't. Get ready. Go order some sprouts. Sprouts you can grow in 3 days, and it's got great nutrition. So it might be sprouts can save your life. So yeah, do that. Indecision has become a global pastime. Whether you conclude that indecision has become a global pastime or it's merely an obstructionism and hypocrisy masquerading as such, it can't be tolerated anymore. The price is simply too high. Yeah, make a decision and act on it and move. Now is not the time to be just sitting back and going, oh yeah, whatever happens. They've been talking about this stuff for so long. The crashing of the banking system, the takeover of the Trump clan. I don't know what I believe, so I'm just going to sit here and play my video games. That'll get you killed now. You got to be ready to move. Get yourself in a mind frame. It's time to react to certain things. Certain things will push us in certain directions. This hurricane Irma that is coming right up Florida and is going to go right up the East Coast is going to affect a huge portion of the population. So good luck, people. Canadian coin toss. Bank of Canada's monetary policy decision preview. The majority expect the Bank of Canada to leave its overnight rate unchanged at 0.75%. Does anybody really care what the central banks do anymore? It has these little blips on the stock market that are all controlled by computer systems, so it doesn't really matter what they say or what they do. They just rig the price of oil and the dollar or the loonie or whatever to wherever they need it to be. And they've been doing that since the 1960s, so it doesn't matter. It's all a show. It's all a game, and no, it doesn't matter what the Bank of Canada does. Bonds ain't buying what PMIs are selling. Again, what the bonds do is completely up to a mouse in the basement of the U.S. Treasury that Steve Mnuchin clicks. Steve Mnuchin was the head of IT, computer trading at Goldman Sachs. That's why he is now our Treasury Secretary. We've been through this a long time, but the whole concept of the markets moving up or down or sideways because of some event is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They rig it with a computer. It's that simple and that easy to do. If you control the regulators, you have unlimited funds, which the U.S. Treasury does. They don't have to tell you what they're doing. They can buy any derivative they want and sell any derivative they want in any quantity, and they do. That's how the game is controlled, and it will continue to be controlled until they decide, we don't want to control it anymore. Which I think they are close to, because the U.S. is the largest debtor nation in the world. So what's our best option? Crash the system now. We already sucked up all the infrastructure, all the money for housing and military, and built everything, and now we just have to crash the system. One click of a mouse and the system is destroyed. That's all it takes. And then we won't lose everything to Asia. So we will have to pull all our troops back because no one would like us anymore. No one would trade with us. But we need to pull the troops back. We're in, like, I don't know, hundreds of different countries with our military. That's ridiculous. We need to all come home. Deutsche Bank, our friends at Deutsche Bank, we're seeing bubbles everywhere. They keep panicking for the rest of the world because they know they're in trouble. So they will always send out information that says, oh my God, we're in so much trouble. Because they are in trouble, absolutely. And they're the largest derivative holder in the world. When they crash, we all go. Ashes to ashes, we all fall down. Intensifying Russian probes. I can't even still believe they're still talking about. It's a proven fact that Russia did not hack the DNC computers. There's only one angle in the Russia story worth investigating. Hillary's role, the CIA's role, the FBI's role in the Russia blame game. Yes. I hear behind the scenes that this is being taken care of by the good guys, which means, I don't know, some of these guys are being taken out. Mueller and all his clan will not be allowed to mess up what Trump is doing. So, we'll see what happens. Clif High's data has a lot of interesting, in his new report, interesting things around early October as far as presidential assassinations. Will there be assassination attempt? It actually revolves around the Kennedy assassination. Maybe we're going to get conclusive proof that it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald, the stupidest story ever. It wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald that killed Kennedy. It was people within the deep state. And maybe we're going to find out who did it finally. Or maybe they're going to try to take out Trump. I don't know. But these hidden secrets are a lot about to come out. They have to come out. We have to have truth and honesty in our system. And the only way to do that is to expose what was done in the past and what is currently being done by the criminals in Washington. I'm not throwing a blanket criminal, because they do good deeds for their friends. I mean criminals, like stealing money, like pedophilia, like all these child trafficking, all these things that Dianne Feinstein said, this is the most important thing going on in the United States when she was grilling Jeff Sessions. Very first thing she said, what are you going to do about the most important problem in the United States, child trafficking? And everybody was like, what? What do you mean? Nobody knew anything about it back then. The mass population. Why is Dianne Feinstein, who's the head of that committee, saying, what are you going to do about the child trafficking to Jeff Sessions? And the media still tries to sweep it under the floor. If it's the number one problem, why isn't it in the media every single day? Why doesn't CNN talk about it every single day? If it's the number one problem, according to Democrat Dianne Feinstein. And it is the number one problem in Washington and in the media. That's the problem. These people in the media who are completely horrific human beings. So, yeah, that fight's going to pick up, and they will be taken down. I hear it's about 6,000 people involved in pedophilia and child trafficking have been arrested already since Trump took office, which is 6,000 more than what Obama did or Bush did. But the big names are still out there, and we need to take down those big names if we're going to move forward. Trump, now is not the time to talk to North Korea. Will that explode into World War III? I don't believe so. There might be some small things done, but no, I don't think it will blow up into a nuclear war. I think we are being protected by other people bigger than the U.S. government and bigger than humanity to make sure that doesn't happen, which is good. And if you have night vision goggles, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Our friend Joe, Jason F4, I don't know if he's done a video yet. It's been cloudy and rainy, obviously, in Florida, but he got some night vision goggles, and I can't wait to hear what he sees up there in Florida, because I see some stuff, some of the strangest stuff you've ever seen at night. All right, let's see what else we got today. Syrian army breaks Deir ez-Zor's siege at moment the national soccer team stuns the world. Against all odds, the Syrian army has broken the years-long ISIS siege of Deir ez-Zor and is now poised to reestablish government control over Syria's east. And for the first time since the start of the war, Middle East analysts are predicting that Assad will eventually consolidate over the much of the entire country. So yeah, the CIA run ISIS, it looks like they're losing power, which is good, which is great. House panel subpoenas DOJ and FBI for Trump dossier records. Here we go. John McCain was knee-deep involved in that. We've got this thing to go ground. We've got to run this thing to ground. The one Russia coalition narrative that Democrats have worked to suppress is coming back to haunt them. Yeah, that Russian dossier, that made-up dossier on Trump, Democrats were in charge of that, but John McCain was involved as well, so he's going to be taken down. It's great that these things are finally being exposed. I just wish it would have happened a long time ago. Then we would have at least been in better position to deal with all these earth changes that are coming. Let's see what else. Hawaii considers a universal basic income as robots seen stealing jobs. There's just one catch. Our economy is changing far more rapidly than anybody expected. It's important to be sure that everybody will benefit from the technological revolution we are seeing to make sure that no one's left behind. It's a problem. I think the universal basic income idea is a good solution to the monetary problem. The monetary problem, I'm talking about after the system crashes. Because when the system crashes, with the bank derivatives, everybody will lose everything. Your 401k, your savings account, your checking account, you name it, it's gone. If it's held by a third party, especially in a bank, but also a savings and loan, an IRA held by a third party, if your IRA or your 401k or anything is held by a third party, it is gone. You want to fix that, call Will Lair at Perpetual Assets. Go to Road to Ruta. I've got a link to their website, and he can help you shift everything to a self-directed IRA where you can buy physical silver and cryptos and keep them in your own possession. All the rest of that is gone when the banks go down. Remember where money is kept. Money is kept at banks. And banks are highly leveraged, 10 to 20 to 1. That's how they make so much money. So when things go up, it's great. They make 10 or 20 times what they would have made. When things go down, it almost instantly destroys everything because they only have so much tier 1 capital, and when it goes down 10%, goodbye, the company's gone. The whole bank is gone. That's why these banking crashes, so many banks just instantly implode, is because they're all leveraged highly, and when you lose money and you're leveraged, and all the banks start selling the same assets at the same time. So, and we're headed for that again. Same thing that happened in 2008 is going to happen again, except this time there will be no bailout. And the reason there will be no bailout is that in the Dodd-Frank law, the banks placed a condition that when the FDIC bails out banks, mom, pa's, checking and savings, they first have to bail out the derivative holders. What? Yep, they put it in there. You got to bail out the hundreds of trillions of dollars of derivative holders. So now it's going to go to Congress for a vote, and the FDIC will have to go to Congress to get the money, and Congress will be faced with a choice of either creating hundreds of trillions of dollars to give to the FDIC, to give to the criminal banks, to bail people out, or don't bail anybody out, wipe the slate clean, everybody loses everything, but we reallocate money. And yes, in that situation, a universal basic income would be a good idea. It gives everybody something to start with. And we don't even know what kind of money would be used at that point. I suspect it would be gold and cryptos. That is, I think, the plan. It's not silver because silver is too valuable. But gold and cryptos, I think that is the plan for the U.S. at least. And everybody else will be on their own. In Clif's data, that's kind of how he has it as well. He talks about like gold plating on plastic bills. Interesting concept. A little bit of gold splashed on your bill. Thousands of an ounce of gold to give those paper or plastic money, to give them some value. It would be interesting. It would be interesting. It'd be a conceptual change, but we'll see what happens. We're right in that sweet spot of what we're going to use as money going forward. If you don't have any cryptos now, buy with both hands. It's not going anywhere. We're talking generational wealth. The people who get in now will make generational wealth for their family and friends and anybody they want to pull in with them going out the next 15, 20, 100 years. So That's how important it is to get on board today. If you want to, go to roadtoruta.com and join the private road membership. I have a list of the 10 that I'm most excited about, cryptocurrencies and blockchain companies that are changing the world. I think those are the most exciting, but they're the longest that will take to pay off. And yeah, go to roadtoruta.com. You also get a free coin, a Ruta coin, silver coin, and 1 PPT token on a paper wallet. So you'll have your first cryptocurrency if you sign up at roadtoruta.com, and I'll show you where it is right here. I have it bookmarked, and that's what roadtoruta.com looks like. And right here it says subscribe today, and you click on that, and that's what you get, 1 PPT token and this amazing Ruta coin. Look at that baby. They're all individually numbered. There's Ruta running down the silver brick road to the Federal Reserve. There's the canyon in the cave in the side of the Grand Canyon. It has all the gold in it. Yes, it's true. Anybody who doesn't believe it needs to do some research. Just go to roadtoruta.com and do a search for Grand Canyon, and you'll find out everything you need to know. Anyway, this is Bix Weir. For all you people down there in the islands and in Florida and then soon on the East Coast, make your preparations now. I know a lot of the stores are already selling out of everything. If you have Y2K preparations, they're probably right at the end of their expiration, so use those. But don't get yourself sick if the food is massively expired. But everybody should have some dried food or some way to feed themselves going forward, be it because of earthquakes or hurricanes or fires. Be ready to go mobile. Mobile will be big. Anyway, this is Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. Make sure you like this video and send it around to all your friends. Talk to you later.